Hi, I'm Jay,
And I'm Lisa.
and in this video you're going to hear and see references to the JLT oil separator. Well, we're excited to announce that as of December 2021, all JLT oil separators will now be J&L oil separators.
Same great product with a different name.
Thank you for your purchase.
We're going to walk you through the install of the JLT oil separator for the 17 and 18 Ford Fusion Sport with the 2.7 EcoBoost. Included in your kit is JLT oil separator with pre-installed hoses, 2 fine thread screws, 1 mounting bolt, 1 mounting bracket. Tools needed for installation is a 10mm socket and ratchet, Phillips head screwdriver, and an 8mm or 5/16 wrench. Let's get started. Okay, step 1, we need to remove the engine cover. There's a 10mm nut here and a 10mm bolt. So go ahead and pop those off first. Remove those, set those to the side. Then you're just going to pull up on the cover. Next step, you're going to remove this factory PCV line. This is the dirty side line, the rear. You're going to pull the tab on the back side and pull the entire fitting off. And then you can rotate the back side and do the same. You're going to pull this tab and then lift up. Again, these are the tabs. You just pull them away, locking tabs, and then pull the whole assembly upward. Okay, so I'm going to show you the mounting location for this bracket. So here we are, we're on the passenger fender, and there's this coolant line that has this bracket. That's an 8mm bolt. We're going to need to pull that out, install our bracket, and reinstall that bolt. It is a tight area, so take your time. Also, I do not recommend doing this when the car is warm, as there are many very hot objects around this bolt. We do recommend a ratcheting wrench for this. It does make the job easier. So go ahead and get onto the bolt and get it started loosening. And then you'll need to reach down there and start to turn it by hand. Be sure to try not to drop this bolt. We do include an extra bolt in the package in case you do, but you can reuse the factory bolt. So, there's our bolt. So we're going to put our bolt through the bracket and then reach down there to get it started. Okay, when reinstalling this bolt, you may have to try to play with multiple different angles to get your hands down in there. I find it easier to come from the front of the motor to reach down. And then once you have the bolt started, just kind of wiggle the brackets and try to get as much done by hand as you can. See if you can get it all the way snugged up so your wrench work doesn't take much. So that's there. And once you start to get the bracket snugged up, just straighten up your bracket to true it up. Next step, you're going to grab your separator and you're going to rotate this into the bracket. Just starting like this. Go ahead and get that in there and started, and then grab your mounting screws. And get those started. Once you have those started, grab your Phillips head screwdriver and snug them up. Alright. Take your short 90 and plug it into the PCV valve. You're going to grab your 45 and make sure you route it around to this inlet pipe. Install it, and then just these fittings pivot and rotate. So get that like so. You're all good to go. In servicing the can, being the engine bay on this car is so tight, you will need to remove the catch can to service it. I recommend leaving the bracket how it is. To remove these fittings, this gray tab here is a button. You don't need to remove these out of the fitting. You just press the button and then pull up. And the same for the PCV valve. You may have to go underneath the wiring harness to get to the button, press it, and pull up. Remove your screws, rotate the can out, unscrew the can, dump it wherever you would put used oil. Do not put it back into the car, and then reinstall. Make sure when you tighten the can, there's an O-ring. You're going to install this just like an oil filter. You're going to screw the bottom of the can to the O-ring and then give it another 3/4 to a full turn to snug it up. You don't need to really gorilla tight these things because it just makes them a lot harder to remove after a couple thousand miles. That'll take care of you. Just reinstall your engine cover and you're good to go.